Straddle.
Punish him.
First one. Come on, punish me.
Daniel has invoked the sleeper straddle, which is a blind raise on the button, which buys you position if action folds to you.
You're confused by this whole situation, aren't you? A little bit. Okay.
Scott calls.
Now what, is the straddle off?
No, I can raise. That's the whole point of it. It's a sleeper.
What if I raise now?
If you raise, then it's up to me.
But he can't pull the 8.
Oh, you can't pull the 8.
No.
The 8 is locked
That
in.
money's locked in already.
It's a good move for Todd to ask that question before he looks at his cards.
Todd calls.
Wait, no, I'm going to raise. Yeah, for sure. With this hand? You kidding me? You would totally raise with this hand. Even you. How much? I'm going to just put another $2,400 in.
Raises to
There you go.
3,200.
Ha ha! It worked. Sweet. Plan came together. Position, big pot. They already sucked in for 800. Cannot fold.
Why are you telling me?
I don't know. Why not? You're there. What, you got other things going on?
Yeah.
Sorry, did I bother you while you were busy? Pardon me. Okay. What do you want to do now?
Raise pot.
Do that. Do that. Let's get it on. Huh?
How much is it?
Scott over the top to 11,000.
I think these two are having a water closet contest right now.
Todd folds.
So you made it 11 total?
That's what they told me.
All right, let's go. I think one of us is going to go all in this hand. Eventually, on the turn, something funky's going to happen. Could be me, but I got reload money. So whatever.
Queen 4-9. Both get a piece of it.
They both flopped a pair, but they're both vulnerable, and this pot is already quite big.
There's the Seaver look and the slow check.
Daniel's got to decide if he's going to bet his pair. Try to control this pot.
All right.
Daniel checks. King on the turn.
No change to either player's hand.
Scott checks again.
It's been checked at Daniel twice now. He may take a stab at it.
He does, betting 12,000.
This is mostly a protection bet. Scott may fold some better hands, but if he does think he has the best hand now, almost any card that can come on the river is a bad card for him.
Seaver raises to 43,000.
I guess I could have checked. It might have been better for me if I checked. Because if I checked, you couldn't have raised me.
Scott is out now bluffing. He might be doing it with the best hand, but he is bluffing for certain.
It's so weird when he does that. We're gonna have to. I don't think I have the best hand here. So on that note, I'm gonna check out.
Daniel folds. And Seaver wins a pot of nearly 80 grand.
5. That has to have me beat. I mean, I had a 4, so I had a 4 in my hand, so that had to have me beat, I think.
Mean just to show the 5.
Or maybe not. What'd you have? Ace 5 or 2 5s or just 5 7 something like that?
Daniel may lose sleep over that one.
Scott Seaver just keeps on accumulating lots of chips. Now he's up nearly 170 grand.
Seeing that 5 is really bugging Daniel.
What'd you have, Scott?
Interesting hand.
5 and what? Interesting? How interesting
What
was
did you have? I'll tell you honestly what I had.
I had 4 7 of clubs.
Were there any clubs on the train?
No.
Yeah. I had 9 5.
So you had nothing? Oh, you had a pair
Yeah,
of
I had a pair of nines.
Yeah, you had me crushed.
I mean, I assumed I was good. I just didn't want to call and have there be 50 million bad river cards.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's only when you're playing with a 52 million card deck.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Lex had straddled at the beginning of this hand. Action on Daniel, who raised to 2,500. 9-5 suited for Seaver.
Well, he hasn't folded, and he's reaching for chips. I think it's safe to say Scott might be getting a little cute here. Maybe he wants to win 2 in a row at 9-5.
A re-raise to 8,000. Brunson folds. Ace-Queen suited for the cannon.
It's going to be pretty tough for Aaron to know he has the best hand, though he's called before with smaller suited aces.
And he does fold.
We've seen him call lighter before, but because of the straddle, this pot's pretty bloated.
Daniel quickly calls. So these two chums off to the flop.
And Scott Seaver has assumed the position.
9-10-10 on the flop. Second pair for Seaver. Daniel checks over to Scott.
Scott's flopped what's very likely to be the best hand. Let's see if he bets it.
He doesn't. He deliberately checks.
More pot control.
4 on the turn.
Plus now he's given Daniel a chance to bluff at it. There's also a chance Daniel thinks his ace is good.
Daniel fires 10,000.
Scott's probably going to want to get to a cheap showdown with this pair. He might like his hand, but he doesn't want to get raised by a draw. Although, as we've seen, Scott's capable of pretty much anything.
And Seaver calls.
Once Scott calls the turn, Daniel will probably have to shut down on the river.
6 of diamonds. Daniel checks.
Ace high. That's good. That 9-5 been lucky for you.
Yeah. How can I not play it again? I looked at him like, oh man, get in there.
Seaver wins a pot of 38K.
But seriously though, like, what is the logic behind this one? I don't get it. It looks like you're just covering your nose. Like, what is it? For real?
I sigh a lot, and it's based on like what happens, and it keeps me from sighing. It's basically the same thing. I go like, so it helps me regulate my breathing. So I'm just, having steady breath regardless.
The nose thing. It really is the oddest thing, dude. You're gonna see it on TV, and you're gonna be like,
No, I've seen
I'm
it.
changing it
He
up.
loves it. He thinks it's sexy. What do you want?
I mean,
Sexy. It's I don't know about sexy, but
I'm just happy that people are ragging on you for something.
but you know what you're upset about? That it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And nothing would bother Scott all night. It's now 58 hands later. Scott is up over 230 grand, and Daniel, though up $23,000, has become increasingly frustrated by having the uber-aggressive Scott directly on his left.
The action began on Todd Brunson.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that then.
Brunson folds. So's Phil.
I want to play badly, but I can't with that hand.
Lex is out, and Vanessa.
All right, Scott Seaver.
It's funny, I remember when you were just Scott. Now you're Scott Seaver.
We
Now
were
he's got
we were
Seaver.
discussing this earlier.
Yeah.
No, we actually were. It's pretty funny.
Daniel raises to 1,500.
Scott Seaver. He is Scott.
But I knew him
somebody.
before he was Scott Seaver. He was just Scott.
He was Scott like Madonna. Just one name, and he went the other way. Because now he's got 2. What are you doing?
41.
Oh, you suck.
Scott Seaver re-raises.
Why? How many chips do you... No, I'm kidding. Okay, what is it, 4,100? Yeah, I don't like Scott Seaver.
Daniel calls.
Nice kid and everything, but he's a pain in my neck, as they say.
10-5
I'm
deuce.
going to check to Scott Seaver.
Scott's piece of cheese actually missed the flop for once.
Let's see if that slows him down. Oh, he doesn't seem to care. He's got chips. And he bets 6,800.
Scott had the pre-flop lead, so he's still c-betting. Daniel's probably not hating ace-king right now, but he may want to play it safe.
There's a call.
Daniel knows Scott can't outflop him every time.
The turn. The 7 of spades. Daniel checks.
Scott has to decide if he wants to continue his ruse with 8-3.
He slows down. 3 of spades on the river.
And that's Scott's gin card. He's now got 4th pair.
Daniel checks. Scott checks. And wins.
Excusez-moi.
Almost bet 400 again. That's why I slammed the check. I'm like,
Vomit.
didn't have the power to bet the 400 again.
400, I would have just jammed you that time. I was so annoyed that I...
Wow, those are the most annoying losses. Oh, 3 8 of hearts, 3 ball
Like
on the river.
I was calling a lot on the river, too.
Oh man, I
Should
missed
have bet
so
a
much
ton.
value.
I was like, just going to let you bluff your money off and not expect you to catch. Boo.
So Scott outdrew Daniel on that one, but don't touch that trigger. We've got plenty more showdowns to come as the best of the big game Young Guns Night continues.
Once again, he's Joe Stapleton. I'm Chris Rose, and this is the best of the big game, Young Guns Night. In our next 2 hands, Barry Greenstein will be representing the Old Guard.
His first opponent, Jason Mercier. Jason is a 23-year-old phenom who's got one World Series bracelet and $4.8 million in live tournament winnings and counting. As the hand begins, Jason is UTG, and this is how it all went down.
Jason Mercier, first to act. 5-3 suited, a raise to 1,400. Cassidy is next. Joe C. folds. Danny, out of here. Nadia on the button. Ace-3 offsuit. Folds. So does Justin. Barry makes the call with King-10 suited.
Barry looking to take Jason's allowance money.
2 to the flop. 6-10-4. Barry checks. Top pair.
Top pair versus a draw. This should be interesting.
Jason bets 2,100.
Jason's open-ended.
Barry raises to 6,000.
It's a thin check raise for value. He's hoping Jason has a small pair.
Mercier calls.